Hi, I'm PunkBune, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to convert your VR Studio character over to VRChat. First up are the downloads. Through this section, I'm going to go through what you need in order to create your character. All of the links for these are going to be in the description below. First up is VRoid Studio. Now for this one, VRoid Studio just released their actual 1.0 version, which has a whole bunch of cool new features listed here, but I'm going to be using a beta version because I've been having some difficulties with the actual version. So I'm going to go to download VRoid Studio beta. So I'm going to be using the recent beta version for VRoid Studio during this tutorial. The next thing you're going to want is Blender. And you're going to need a specific version of Blender. Blender 2.9.2. Next up is the add-on for Blender so that you can upload your VRM file to Blender. The next one is going to be the Cats plugin for Blender. And you're also going to want to download this material combiner for Blender. Next up is the SDK3 for the VRChat avatars. Lastly, you'll want to download Unity, but you'll need a specific version. Unity version 4.31. And if you're not very artistic, you can always go to Booth, which offers a variety of clothing options and hairstyles for you to choose. You can also filter through the pricing if you want free stuff. It's very simple and easy to find things. You can just type up in the search bar, like I'm doing for the VRoid eyes. I want to find a specific set of eyes for this tutorial, so I'll be using materials from Booth for this tutorial, and I believe I like these. So I do like these eyes by Akiza. I apologize if I pronounce your names wrong for this tutorial, but I do want to make sure I give you proper credit. So I'm going to go ahead and download this. Next up is the outfit done by Hot Calculations, and I had seen this the other day, so I already kind of pre-picked this out, and I'm going to go ahead and download it. And for the hair, I do want to put her in a bun kind of style, and I really love this double bun hairstyle by Epony. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. And now we can open up VRoid Studio. Any of your models that you create will be shown here. To create a new one, we're going to hit the plus sign. And now we have our VRoid character loaded up. And she's pretty plain, pretty simple. Not much going on. A little cute schoolgirl outfit. But we're going to go ahead and change her up and make her our own little character. So first up, I'm going to tackle the face, and I always start by going into the texturing. This allows a lot of creativity and a lot of your own personal touches to be added when doing the texturing. So I'm going to go to the eye line, and as you can see, and I'm going to show you something really cool. I'm going to go ahead and start drawing on this specific layer, and I can actually draw the eye line on the character, or I can go over here to the actual layer and draw on it. Up here is a button to mirror, so whatever you do on one side will show up on the other, like so. So you can go really crazy with the eyelashes. You can also toggle visibility, so if you don't want an eyeline, you can just toggle it off. So I'm going to toggle off all the things that I won't be needing during this tutorial. Now for the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and import the eye file that we downloaded. And there we go. There's the eyes that we got from Boo. I'm going to import the highlights as well. Sometimes it doesn't like to load, so if you just click, they'll load. It's a little laggy. Now onto the skin for her face. As you can see up here, there are guides. This is where you can actually export that, and it will show the guidelines that appear on the layer. So you can take this into any art program and edit it like I have done. So I'm gonna go ahead and import the face layer that I created earlier. Now onto the hair. There are quite a lot of features with the hair. The procedural group gives you a set of grouped hairs that you can do many different things with. You can change the width of the actual hairs, all of these little special features. And you can also have a freehand group. This group allows you to actually draw individual hairlines like so. So now I'm creating these bangs, and you can add different textures. You can keep on adding to give it a lot of detail. If you don't want it anymore, or you don't like it, you want to restart, you can just select your hairs or select the group and hit delete. If you want to change the colors, there's the base color and the shade color, which don't even have to be the same color. It gives it this really cool ombre effect. And then if you don't want them, you can delete it. And here's the base hair. If you want your character to be bald, you can delete or hide this layer. Now I'm going to go ahead and import our hair that we downloaded. And if you have a hair that you like and you've created, you can also hit this button to save as a preset so you can use it later on another character. And now I'm just going to tidy up the hair a little because I do want to kind of simplify this since this is going to be a VRChat avatar. I want to try to keep it as simple as possible because for VRChat you're going to want to reduce a lot of the polygons, and a lot of the polygons happen in the hair. Now onto the clothes. I'm going to go ahead and show you just a few of the options that we have here. And each one of these options are customizable. You'll see over here there's sliders to kind of change the width and the length and the volume and such. Pretty cool. So you can pretty much create any kind of clothing here. Not really sure what accessories does yet. And for shoes, there's some options for shoes as well. And here you can see the bare feet. Kind of cute feet. So now I'm just going to select an option. And go into the textures because we're going to be putting on the clothes that we downloaded from Booth. Now because the download that we downloaded from Booth is a skin layer, we're going to just hide all of these clothes. And we're also going to want a certain type of shoe for this as well. Now we're going to go to body editor. And this is where you can actually change a lot of the parameters for your character. So you can do a lot of body customizations so that your character actually fits you. Lots of great customization options. So we're going to give her a little bit of thickness. Now onto the texture so that we can add the outfit. So here I'm going to import the outfit that we downloaded. And here's the nice outfit that I edited for this tutorial. Kind of like a little magical girl fighter outfit. We're gonna go ahead and add the shoes. And now for the outlines, we just want to get rid of all of them. They don't do anything good. The rim lighting, we can get rid of that as well. They're no use to us for this tutorial. If you like the lighting and such, you can go ahead and keep it. But for this sake, we're gonna just get rid of all of it. There's also options for the eye alignment and extra bones if you want some extra jiggliness. And now we're going to go ahead and go over to export. And here is our final look for a character. You can test her out by doing the pose and animation. You can check her actions, make sure nothing's clipping. Because she's not wearing actual clothes, some of the actions may be a little funky like this one. All in all, she's moving very smoothly. Everything's nice and smooth. So now we're going to go ahead and export. And as you can see, there's a whole lot of polygons. We're going to want to knock this down, as well as materials and bones. First thing, we're going to want to delete transparent meshes. We don't need them. And I'm just going to mess with these sliders and try to turn them up as high as it can to where they don't deform the body too much, because we want to drop down these polygons as low as possible. So I'll keep on dropping each one just a little bit. If you pay close attention, you'll notice the little differences when you move the bars. Now the hair is going to be the most different. And it's going to look a little wonky. So we're going to go back and forth through the editor to kind of edit this to where it doesn't look quite as spunky. And while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and change over these little hair bits from diamond to flat. That'll get rid of a lot of polygons right there. Not too bad now. Just a little more tweaking. Seeing if there's any hairs that I can get rid of. This is actually cute. This back hair here is a complete mess. Fixing up the bangs a little bit. And this back hair is giving me so much problem. I'm just gonna delete it. And we can actually use this base hair as the hair. I'm going to move these bangs in a little more so they blend in better. Now when I move the slider down, the skin actually protrudes through the base hair. So in order to fix this, we're going to go find the skin and actually color it the same color as the base hair. And actually, this is a good time to show you the hair texture. We have options for the hair texture as well. And now we found it. So this here is the head scalp skin. So if you wanted to do tattoos on a bald head, this is the layer that you would want to do it on. So we're just going to fill this all in. And I'm going to go back to the face. Because I also want to fill in just this little bit here. There we go, not too bad. And that should dramatically decrease our polygons, and it has. And she still doesn't look too bad. So we have her under 10,000, which is really good. So the next thing we're going to work on is material reduction. We don't need all of those materials, so I'm actually going to reduce it to 2. And what this does is it combines the textures into 2 separate material files. Now this is the export screen. You can give them a name. We're going to name her Polly. And of course, I'm the author. And there's a whole bunch of special things that you can click on to allow or not allow. And I'm going to save her and save her with the same name. And now it's done. Now if you wanted to use this as a VR avatar for your YouTube channel, you would want to stop here. You can use this on programs such as VC Face or VMagic Mirror. Next up is Blender. To clear the scene, you can hit A and then delete. Now you're going to want to go into Edit and Preferences and Add-ons, and then go to Install and make sure to install all the add-ons. And make sure that they're checked on. You can look them up here in the search bar. Now you can actually import your VRM file for your character. Now your character is going to show up and it's going to be completely gray. Do not be alarmed. You can actually click over here on this little tab and then drop down to cats and hit Fix Model. This is going to import your textures over to your character. Next up is eye tracking. You're going to want to fix your eye tracking up if there's anything missing. And then create eye tracking. Next up are the visemes. The visemes did not auto-generate for me, so I'm going to select them. And then hit create. Next up is optimization. This is where you can actually combine more of the materials. So you're going to want to generate the material first. And here you can see the two materials that were generated from VR Studio. And I want to make these one. So I'm going to make sure they're clicked and then save Atlas 2. And now we have one material. So everything's on one material file. Now to kind of fix her up, we're gonna go click on this and go to edit mode. Click on this bone, and you're gonna want to make sure that the rotations, the inherent rotation, is not checked for these particular bones. And then we're going to move around these leg bones so that they match up. And this is under the pose mode. And there, now you can see the legs are actually pretty straight. But then, if you look closer, you'll notice that these toes aren't actually in the shoes. So we're going to fix that up as well. And we're also going to give the character a little bit of bend so that it doesn't look like she's standing completely straight. And then we're going to move these down just a little. Also, you'll want to make sure that your X-axis mirror button is pushed so it'll mirror what you're doing. And I'm going to move this down as well. And then these, so that her toes are actually in the shoes. So when your VR character loads, your feet won't be in the ground. So here we have our character. You can also edit some more bones if you're really good at rigging, but I'm gonna go ahead and export her. Now when you export, you want to make sure in this tab, you want to make sure that it's selected to copy so that it actually brings over all of the textures. And then save it. Now we're gonna go into Unity. You're gonna want to move over the SDK that you downloaded. and your character that you saved from Blender. You're going to want to click on the character and go under the Rig tab, and for the animation type, we want it to be humanoid. And then hit apply. You may get some errors, I don't know exactly what they mean. And then go under configure. Now here you're going to see there's a problem in the head, and if you look at the right eye and the jaw is actually set for the right eye. So we're going to delete that because we don't need the jaw at all. It doesn't have to be set to anything. And we're going to extract our materials and our textures. Make sure they save these in separate files. And here you can see everything is on one image. We're going to set the alpha to transparent. This is going to get rid of any blackness that is supposed to be transparent in the image. And we're going to go to our shaders and make sure we have the correct shaders for our character so that she will be shaded nice when we upload her to VRChat. I'm using the Toonlet because she's a little anime character, and I think it makes her look more cartoony. You can choose different types of shaders if you don't really like that look. You want a little bit more realistic kind of vibe, but I'm gonna keep it on Toonlet. Now we're going to want to make sure to be on our character and hit add component. And we're going to add our avatar descriptor. And in here we're going to edit the view position so that the view is actually going to be more towards her eyes. So we'll be seeing what she's seeing. We'll auto-generate the lip sync and enable the eye look. And in this section, you're going to want to make sure to click on the particular correct eye bone, which is usually the bottom set. And for the rotation states, this allows you to edit how far and which direction you want them to look. I kind of like 15 for up and down and left and right. Now for the eyelid type, we want to make sure blend shapes is selected. And under the eyelids mesh, we're going to make sure to drag over the body. And that's going to generate the blend shapes for our eyes. You're going to want to make sure that the blink is set to close. And for looking up and looking down, you don't need any for that. There are other things such as expressions that you can add if you're more knowledgeable than I am, but I'm not going to be doing that in this tutorial. So this is what our character is going to look like. So we're going to go ahead and load up the SDK. You're going to want to sign in and go over to Builder. This is going to have some errors. Don't completely freak out, Most of these can be fixed just by clicking auto fix. Now you can see everything is green. She's wonderfully optimized. And now we're gonna hit build. We're gonna let it build. It's gonna take a minute. And when it's finished, you can close this and actually give your avatar name a different name or the same name. And I'm going to add a description here crediting all of the materials that I've used for this character because I will set her to public. And then hit upload. And then when this pops up, you can actually go over to your VRChat and your character will be loaded under your avatar screen. Now, if you're like me and you have the Oculus Quest, you're going to want to do a little bit more optimizations. And for your build setting, you're going to want to make sure to switch it over to Android. And then hit switch platform. And then go over to SDK again. Everything should still be green because we lowered the polygons. We only have one material. And now we're going to build and publish. Keep everything the same and I'll upload her, and now I can use her while playing VRChat on the Oculus Quest. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it's been helpful for you. If you would like to see more of my content, please feel free to like and subscribe. And leave a message in the comments with your VR character. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!